Hello YouTuber, welcome back to the shop. Little project we've got for you today is I'm going to make a small pot, or a large pot really. When our grandchildren come and visit, my wife always likes to be able to give them a bar of chocolate. And honest to God, we got enough chocolate up in that house to give a small European nation level 3 diabetes. But the grandchildren seem to like it. So what I thought I'd do is make a nice little wooden pot just to put some of the chocolate in, some of the sweets in, just to make it look nice. So sit tight and have a look at this, see how I make it. So this is a piece of cherry that I'm going to use. You see it was a main trunk of a tree, quite a mature cherry tree. I was given this probably about 2 years ago and it's been sat in my wood store, so I'm hoping that it is dry enough to use. So first thing I need to do is get a chainsaw and cut a lump off the top of there. So that's the piece of cherry all mounted on the lathe. There's quite a thick head of bark on there. That'll all have to come off, and it is slightly oval. It's about 280 that way and about 240 that way. So first thing what I'm going to do is turn that down. I'm going to get my big drawers and I need to put a tenon on there just so that I can turn that around. So that's the bottom pretty much cleaned up. I got the held in my medium jewels in the end. That led me to put 100mm spigot on the other end, which gives me greater hold over such a big lump of wood. I'll swap that tall rest out for my bigger one, longer one. So I've got the held in the forge all chucked now, and I'm just going to use my spindle roughing gauge just to take that down. As I said at the beginning, it was oval, so I know for quite a bit here I'm only going to be cutting on two sides. That roughing gauge is very aptly named. It rips that wood away really quickly. You see the size of the chips that are flying off there. So it's just a matter now, just working backwards and forwards, just taking all that bark away, getting all that soft down through that Cambrian layer and getting down into the heartwood underneath. So I've turned this around. This will be the bottom of my, what are we going to call it, pot. So now I'm just going to look for a nice curved bottom on this, just a classic bowl shape with a small foot on the bottom. What I'm going to do is put a small sort of dip in there with a lip on there, and that'll allow the lid to just drop straight down in there. That's the outside shape pretty much finished. So that's all turned down, that's the shape I want. Nice smooth transition from side to side. I thought this was outer bark as well, but I can't push my nail into it, so it's quite hard. I think once you've got sanding sealer over there, that'll seal all that up. That'll be ideal. So let's get and sand that down there. Right, I sanded that down to 400, and there's some lovely colours running through there. You've got these reds to browns. It's like green colour running through there. And back around to these lovely reddy browns, these russets. It's beautiful. Right, let's give this a coat of sanding sealer. Look at that. I'm not going to put final coat on there until I've finished, because I'm very tempted to put hard wax oil on there rather than something like a microcrystalline wax, because I think that's going to get a lot of use, and we'll put hard wax oil on there. That'll protect it a lot more. So I'm going to turn that round now and hollow that out. Just going down in there first with a Forstner bit, just to hollow the inside. It's a lot easier for me to hollow it afterwards. There's actually steam coming off of there, not smoke. It's a combination of things, and the wood is very wet. Obviously that gets very hot as that's cutting, and it is very cold in here today. I have to say that steam coming off there is very aromatic. It's like it doesn't last long, but it really is quite a lovely smell. You see fine that sawdust is coming out there, and you also see how damp that is. They'll just about bind together. It's gone right the way down through there with the Forstner bit, so we're ready for hollowing now. So one of the things this lathe allowed me to do is to turn the headstock right round, so the bed of the lathe is over there and I'm now over here, so that gives me free unfettered access to the inside of that bowl now. That's the bowl all finished, and now this is the very top piece of the log, and I'm going to turn this into the lid. You see from there, that's a quite triangular shape, that one. It's quite narrow there. So that goes from 110mm to 160. So there's quite a bit I've got to take off of there to get that down to a nice even shape. I think I'll probably get back to you when I've done that. Not very interesting to watch. So I've got that down pretty much to where I want to be on that edge, and now I'm going to take this down. It's quite oval and I need to turn it into a nice round shape. So I'm going to do first just get it down to round, and then I need to take it down to size so it'll fit on top of the bowl. Alright, if you can get your finger in there, your tool rest is too far away, obviously not while it's spinning. This is a lot more than I need. There's a lot of cracks in there. Most of that would turn, well, all of that would turn away. So that's the size pretty much I need to get down to for the size of my lid. first thing I want to do, I'm going to turn this around, and I need to put this in my jaws and then turn that so it fits the top of my pot, and then I'll turn it back around this way and then I can shape the top of my lid. So I've turned my lid around, and the piece you're looking at there is the piece that will sit inside the top of the bowl. So what I need now is a small lip put on there. You can see that is probably about 10-15 mil larger than the actual pot, so I do need quite a lip on there. And I'll show you now with the power of YouTube how we'll get a perfect fit first time. So I'm just gradually taking this away with a skew chisel, just tidying that edge up, and I'm taking that down, and this lip here will just fit inside of the pot. And there we go, perfect fit first time. In YouTube, lovely. So now I've cleaned all that up and taken that down, what I want to do is just take this outside down so it's level with the outside of the pot, so it's all nice and smooth and just flows from the pot straight into the lid. So what I want to do now, because this is the base of the lid, I don't want too much weight in here, so what I'm going to do is just concave the bottom of this, but at the same time I also need to put a recess in there for my jaws to go in, so when I turn it around to shape the top in a minute, I need to be able to hold that. So I'll put my jaws in there and I'll put them in expansion mode. So just roughly hollowing this out, just taking some of the weight away from it. Just marking this now with my calipers. And that's the size I need for my jaws to fit into. Just putting a nice recess in there. So that's the underside of that pot finished. I'll just sand that down now, and then I can get to turning the top. Just apply the sand sealer on there. Really brings that grain out in that cherry. It's beautiful. So reverse that in my chuck now. I've just got it out between centres the time in, because I need to rip away a lot of this wood. There's going to be a lot of wood on there I don't need, so I'll very quickly get rid of all of that. So I'm going with the saw and take that last little bit off. We're reaching a long way over from the tool rest for that. So this is my lid all ready for shaping. You can see on the right hand side of the screen there are two, what do you call them, lips or bridges. So the very first one will be the piece that will sit down inside of the bowl, and the first one is the size of the bowl. So the first thing I want to do is just take that lid down, just so there's that white rim at the end. so that it just disappears, and then I know that my lid is exactly the same size as my bowl, or just slightly smaller. So now I'm going in, and I just want to shake the top of the lid now. So there's a lot of wood to come away. I'm just going to go for a very simple knob at the top, and just slope into it, a bit like roof of a pagoda, something along those lines. So you see I'm sort of trying to get into that. I don't know what you call that. Concave, would that be? So I'm just forming the lid, the knob on the top there. Just redefining that top. Just taking a little bit of that width away on there. And there's just coming in, just reshaping that. So first I'm going to put some sand and sealer on there, just to show you that grain comes out on that. That's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to take that away. I'm going to give it 3 coats, probably 3 coats of hard wax oil. Take a couple of days, and I'll get back to you. Well, here you go, YouTube world. Really beautiful pot. Lovely inside. And that lid has come up beautiful. Put that hard wax oil on there, give it 2 coats and then buffed it up. Come up really nice. I really like that. I'll put some stills up at the end. My only concern with that really is it was quite wet as I was turning it. Certainly wetter than what I thought it was going to be. I thought that would have dried out a lot more by now. I will probably leave it down here for 2 or 3 more weeks. Because I know that if I take that up and put that in a house with the central heating on, that will without doubt split wide open as it dries out. It will dry too quick. So I'm going to leave it down here for 2 or 3 weeks, and I'll take it up and I'll put it in the spare bedroom for a few more weeks, because we've got no heating in the spare bedroom. And hopefully that should dry out nice and slowly and not split. Be a real shame if it does. So I'm really pleased with that. It's a beautiful piece of work. Well, as always, hope you enjoyed watching it, because I enjoyed making it. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all again next week. You take care of yourself. From a slightly warmer shed here in Hampshire. Bye bye.